going into our plank to cobra to downward dog sequence. Even though you can't see my feet, I promise they are still there. The only thing you need to know about them is they're about hip width apart. But you can take your stance a little wider for a little bit more support, or if you want to take your feet to touch or almost touch, it can provide an additional challenge and a change in sensation. The other thing you might want to know is that I'm on a sticky mat, so my feet aren't going to slide as much as they might if I were wearing socks on, say, a tile floor. If you're wearing shoes in the office, that's going to give you good traction. Just be mindful of your surroundings. Make sure you don't put all of your weight into something that's going to move, such as a chair that doesn't have good grip on the bottom of it. I'm going to show you a couple of different variations, including how to do this on the chair as well as the wall. And then we're going to spin the chair around so you can see how to take it a little lower to do it on a desk if you would prefer that at the office. So start by facing whatever you're going to be using. Hands to the back of the chair or to the wall. Take a step or so back. The further back you go, the nicer and the longer your plank is going to be, but also the more you're going to challenge yourself. As you come into your plank, you're pressing down on the chair, not pushing forward, and you're pulling your shoulder blades back. We need to be mindful of engagement of the core of the belly so that we can keep a nice long line and not put strain on the lower back. To come into your cobra, you just begin to bend your elbows, pull them in close to the ribs, shoulder blades towards your spine. Press into your hands, push your hips back, and take your chest down towards your thighs, towards the ground. Press back up and come back to plank. Plank is leaning forward, engaging the shoulders, pressing into the hands, feel the arms working. Cobra, bending elbows, pulling shoulders back, gaze might slightly lift. Gently pressing back, extending arms, taking torso down towards ground or thighs. Continuing this for as long as it feels good or appropriate to you. And then when you're ready, moving on to your next practice. Now, if you want to do this with a little less effort, you're going to want to be at a higher surface. So that could even be hands straight out at the wall, maybe 1 or 2 steps back, just to give you a little room for length and movement. Pulling elbows in, pressing back, plank, downward dog. Back up, finding your plank, lowering in, cobra. Pressing back, downward dog. And press into the wall to come back up when you're completing your sets. If you want to go even lower, you can take it down to a chair, or take the curtain down with the chair. Hands press down, feet walk back. Keeping that core engagement. Pressing into the hands, shoulders back. Slowly bending elbows, lowering down. Gaze lifts slightly. Pressing back, downward dog. Forward to plank. Elbows back, cobra. Your variations might not look quite like mine. Your cobra might just be pulling your shoulders back, slightly lifting your gaze. Arms might stay mostly straightened. Your downward dog, if your hamstrings are tight, your knees might slightly bend. Your heels might lift off the ground. Take the variation that works for you. And when you're ready, press into your hands, find support. Walk the feet forward and come back up.